You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, it's AFTERBUZZ TV's Game Control Live.
Hey guys, and welcome to Game Control Live, to some awesome Mega Man 3 remix music.
I feel like I gotta move fast.
It's amazing! Hey guys, welcome to the new year, January 2014. Joining me, as always, Grant Kohrmann.
Howdy, everybody.
I think we decided Perfect Attendance Award goes to Grant Kohrmann.
Yay!
For 2013. And the opposite of Perfect Attendance Award goes to Raychul Moore.
Hi, I'm back. Yay!
But she's back for 2014.
Yay!
And guys, I'm Dave Klein, and see that switch? They were doing the intro of Mega Man 3, and now Sparkman it's a Mega Man 3 medley. If you guys check out the YouTube description, you can find out the name of the song. There'll be a link to it.
Just go through all the songs?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Badass. It is a great mix. And in the booth, Stephen Lemieux, who doesn't have a mic, apparently, today, so he cannot talk.
Silent
We
Steven.
may have done that on purpose, because John couldn't make it today. John was busy, sadly. But today, we got a lot to talk about. We've got 2013. We're going to do a year in review, what we're looking forward to, and what you guys can look forward to in 2014. A whole number of quick hit news stories,
Wait,
so
do you
many.
have paper for me, or is that all papers for you?
That's
It's all
a lot
papers
of
for me.
paper.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
I always carry. I'm always loaded up on a lot of paper, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think that's a good euphemism,
Ready to
but let's
roll,
go with
ready
it.
to roll.
Let's go with it. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and jump right into the 2013 year in review and be all sentimental and shit. I mean, sentimental and sweet things.
I like 2013. It was pretty cool.
It's sentimental.
So okay,
And we
so-
can finally say good riddance because it's gone. No longer waiting around
Peace
for
out,
it. 6 days
2013.
gone.
yeah. Well, but we're gonna talk about some of the biggest moments. So moments to us that we thought kind of made 2013 what it was, good and bad. So we'll be sentimental and anti-sentimental for Rachel. So,
Yeah.
So what would you guys say were some of the biggest moments to you of 2013? I mean, there's obviously the PlayStation 4
Last-
and
That's
Xbox
8
One.
years in the
Even
making,
more
yeah.
that, I'd say like Last of Us and Bioshock Infinite, because those were my two big, holy crap, this is amazing moments. in
I think it was the
2013.
year that MMOs really kind of just completely changed face. Like some of the big holdouts started really losing subscribers, like World of
Yeah.
Warcraft, and like free to play was really starting to get, like Guild Wars 2 really started to get its legs
Love
and
Guild
test
Wars.
out how a really big free to play
Its balls
game would work.
dropped.
Yeah, it matured.
I feel like I don't
Its
hear as
voice
much
got
about
deeper.
MMOs either, though. Like, I feel like they're not as popular in general as they
Well,
used to be.
that's part and parcel of what I'm saying about
Right.
like, it's the year that MMOs really kind of it changed. Like it's no longer like the assured multi-billion-dollar industry all on its own. It's now a part of the billion-dollar gaming
Well, I think
industry.
it's because it got watered down. So many people wanted to get in on the World of Warcraft crazy, and we just got so many times, and people just kind
Clones
of
and
they got tired of them.
Star
And then
Wars,
Yeah.
Star Wars
everything.
disappointed everybody. But the reason you don't hear a lot about really good ones is because when they do come out, and they're very few and far between, people get stuck on them and they don't venture to others. They just like, "Meh," and
Yeah.
then that's it.
I mean, I think another reason, too, with MMOs is because we've been seeing a changing landscape for how people tackle it, and they're almost using this very Dark Souls method of handling it. Ha-ha! I had to do it.
Yeah.
But this method where it's kind of this drop-in, drop-out gameplay, where it's kind of a single-player-esque experience, but we're starting to see more and more developers go for the experience of, you play it that way, but people can just drop in and drop out of your more single-player experience, which I actually kind of prefer, because one of my biggest things with MMOs is I feel like if it was a game by itself without the social aspect, it wouldn't hold up. So I like seeing that they're starting to focus on this gameplay where you can play single player, but that social element's integrated into it.
Yeah,
So
and it
I
all
think it works
really has
well.
to do with community as well. If you've got a really bad community in your MMO,
But I think
it's not gonna do
that
well.
also has to do with lore. You know what I mean? Because I can't really even be involved in a community that for a game that doesn't have any story that I would like really want to participate in. It's not like I can just have a game surrounded by Reddit, which has a vibrant community. It just
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. You have to have like a backlog, like a good story to follow.
yeah.
But yeah, that's why 2013 was great for me. Microsoft, Sony, and MMOs.
I think I enjoyed because I like Nintendo a lot. I like seeing that games were finally coming out for the 3DS, and it actually became a system worth having.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of huge games on the 3DS last year. So to me, it was like a big year for handhelds because you had like Fire Emblem, you had Link Between Worlds, you had a bunch of Mario games, including Mario and Luigi, Super Mario 3D Land, I think was earlier
Super
in the
Mario
year.
3D World, or is it Super
3D
Mario 3D
World was
Land?
the Wii U one. 3D Land was the 3DS one, but I think that was beginning of the year.
The Kitty Cat one.
That was 3D World for
Okay.
Wii U.
Yeah.
Which was actually awesome.
Their
but
names are too
Kitty Cat
confusing.
one.
yeah.
Cat, you get to be a pink kitty.
But Luigi's Mansion, and then there Animal Crossing,
Pikmin came out.
which was Wii U, and then also even like for handhelds, you PS Vita games, some good games
Animal
like Guacamelee.
Crossing.
I said Animal Crossing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I said
I'm
it.
really enjoying.
I'm
I mean,
still playing
Tearaway
that.
came out right at the end of 2013, and I'm really enjoying that right now. It can't really be like a holdout. Like, it can't really be one of my star players of 2013. But yeah,
Yeah.
PS Vita made finally like worthwhile owning my PS Vita with the PS4 coming out and the cross-play compatibility with a lot of those games, being able to game remotely in another room or even at work. If I
Right.
needed to, at work. Shh.
So, and then for Rachel though, so BioShock Infinite and Last of Us. So those were the big games for Naughty Dog and 2K.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering
Irrational.
or Irrational. Thank you.
Yeah.
BioShock.
Dun dun dun.
I'm BioShock that you didn't know that.
Those two games are now in my top favorite games list, though. I gotta
Oh,
give
wow.
two of my
Game is
favorite
all
games.
over
So
the
that's
place.
big for you.
Big,
That's a big thing.
big
You better be
day.
watching out for that.
That was 2011 for me. A lot of games that was like the year I think of like, wow, so many games that actually made it to my top 10, which is impossible at this point because there's so many old classics in there.
Yeah.
I think
But-
the thing that stuck with me the most heading out of 2013 is the BioShock DLC, though, because I finally got to go back to Rapture. I finally got to, revisit a game that I've been waiting to visit.
I still didn't like it. I did not like going back to Rapture.
I didn't play the DLC, and I'm still mad that BioShock Infinite even did that with their story.
Yeah,
honestly.
but there's
How
so
could you be
because the
mad?
whole point of the whole story of BioShock Infinite is how unlimited options you have, and how the constants and variables and every choice spawns into a different thing.
Yeah.
So many different varieties and options and places they could have taken the story, and they went back to Rapture. I already played 2 games in Rapture. I love Rapture. It's my favorite world of a video game. But out of all these different options they threw at me, they went back to Rapture.
Well, I think it'd be interesting
So
to
many
see
different things
how
they could have done.
Ken
And that's the
Levine-
reason I was excited for Infinite in the first place, was because unlike BioShock 2, it was a new world, and I
Right.
loved Rapture as the character, so I was excited for Columbia.
And we're still following 2 characters. We already knew Elizabeth's story. We already knew Booker's story. We already knew the story between the
But
little
the
sister
D-
and
the
the
twist
big
to
daddy.
Not to ruin it for anybody, but the DLC brings the story full circle. It wraps it up
It
in
does,
a way
but
that
I
we
didn't
can
need
now
that.
focus on other
I want the
content.
Latest twins, and I already know we're not getting that the next DLC chapter is going to be all about Elizabeth. I know Elizabeth's story. I know Booker's story, and I know all the Comstock stuff. That's all been...
Well, the Lutece twins they never entered the crawl space, is what I call it, the lighthouse world, did they?
Well, the guy
followed
is
Booker
her.
Right up, yeah, but they followed the Booker right up to the point where he entered the
After the lighthouse, right, but I wanna know
And they
everything
brought him
before
but
that.
They never entered the lighthouse or.
Right. But all of
Yeah.
their story is so you could only
I
find
didn't
little
play the
bits of
DLC,
it.
There's
so
a
how
lot
much
of
was
loose
explained.
ends, but at least
But they could have tied them up in a DLC. I wanted so much to know more about their history.
You wanted
and
them to tie up infinite loose ends.
all
in a
of their
DLC
how she
package.
was
I think you might
how
be
she
overestimating
but she
their
learned
ability.
how to do the tears, and I wanted to find out how she learned to do the tears and the goods and the bads, and bringing her other self in that's a boy and all that stuff, and how Comstock, and oh my god, so many things that would have been awesome. But we went back to Rapture with 2 characters we already knew enough about.
I haven't played the DLC, so I can't comment on it because, like I said, it's just like Rapture. It's like, I loved Rapture, but I don't need to go back.
But that's not-
But I have been
yeah.
hearing that the story is really emotional and good. I've heard that.
It is. I liked Elizabeth better in the DLC because she wasn't all like Disney princess, which I'm not really a big fan of. She was kind of useless in the full game, other than throwing you stuff. But I liked her character in the DLC. She
doesn't
was
throw shit at you in
stronger.
this
Yeah.
version of
She
the
had
game.
an attitude. She was just more of a spunky kind of, gal.
Well, that's cool. I like the spunk. Bring on the
Yeah.
spunk.
I bet you do.
But speaking of some spunky 2013 stuff, I'm gonna go for the negative side now. some other big things that happened that weren't quite as positive. The Ouya, not necessarily for the sake of what it promised, but just that didn't necessarily deliver for a lot of what people were hoping it would, and just kind of did nothing. I mean, it still could in the future, but 2013, there were a lot of big mistakes that they made.
2013 for me, for the Ouya, was the year in which they tried to show everybody that they were like popular and like popularistic. They ran that development campaign, which was like inundated with fraudsters. Like that, it shows to me how out of touch they were with the people that make games for them and also the people that purchase those games.
Yeah, so it was like kind of an interesting thing to see though with the Ouya, and then the Steam box was announced and talked about, but we're still not seeing it, and I still have questions about it. But some of the ones to me that I think about is 2013, the year when Phil Fish finally had it.
I actually checked his Twitter account the other day, and it's still locked. And the last like 20 things he posted were like links to music and Vine videos on like just really weird rambling stuff. Like guy yells at cloud, and that I think that's what his his Twitter like description is. Guy yells at cloud.
Yeah, I'm a meme person, so I enjoyed that. The other thing to me is honestly, I think 2013 has been a year of our Anita Sarkeesian. But
the year of Anita.
But she came and she went though, so that's kind of the good positive side to me, is that if you actually track her videos, they get less and less views as they go.
Good. People are realizing she's insane.
It's kind of just like, all right, I watched it and that was it. So I think people are just watching it for the curiosity's sake, and then.
Well, I don't think she's insane. I mean, she brings up points, but
I don't think. I just think she does it the wrong way. That's all.
Yes.
We don't need to end this argument again.
Yeah.
I know we have disagreeing opinions.
and we
but
have
it's just,
so many people, including us, that like offer differing opinions.
I don't know what my downside to 2013 was in gaming. What was I disappointed about? I was disappointed in 2012 that I didn't buy the Borderlands 2 season pass.
Did you buy all the DLC?
I did.
Play it
I
through,
should have bought the season pass.
Wait a minute. What did the season
See,
pass
the season
give you?
pass is always tricky, though, because sometimes
They
it is
do,
and sometimes
because
it
this
doesn't work.
leads in.
I bought the season pass, and the
Holy
only
crap! You
DLC,
get a crap ton of stuff.
But I thought that the DLC only equaled out to the cost of the season pass.
No,
In
because
fact,
you
if
also
I
got all
waited
three
until
Headhunters that just came out. You got the Halloween edition, you got the Thanksgiving, and the Christmas. But that leads into my 2013 disappointment, which is go back to BioShock Infinite, which I loved, but I instantly was like, oh my god, I'm going to buy every DLC from this. Of course, I bought the season pass, and I've been disappointed in my season pass purchase so far because I didn't like the Horde mode that they came out with.
Sure.
That was
I don't need
that was
that.
just a gimme after.
I don't need
that.
that.
was being developed concurrently with
Right.
the
And then
the release, and then they just released it as DLC.
the only other DLC you were going to get is the second chapter of Burial at Sea. So, and the price of Burial at Sea, episode
Very
1, is
expensive,
way too expensive.
considering.
Holy crap. So I'm a little disappointed. I probably shouldn't
So
have
you
bought
got-
that season pass.
Well, wait a minute.
Well,
If
that
you
sort of
bought the
bled
season
into
pass, you
2013
didn't have
then.
to pay for it, right? The
Right.
price.
I didn't
So
have to
then-
pay the $15,
good,
but
right?
it's still way expensive.
So good.
Holy crap.
Especially since you could probably assume that the second chapter and any other release DLC will probably cost $15, so you're saving yourself money this
I'm
year.
saving money, but I'm still disappointed by the amount of DLC we're getting for it. Where I got the season pass for Saints Row, and that's totally paid off. I mean,
Totally
the
paid
amount
off
of
itself.
DLC for Saints Row is amazing.
Well, it's always
Working
kind
its
of.
debt.
I feel like it's always a crapshoot with the season passes.
is.
That's the thing. But Grant, did you have any disappointing moments of 2013?
No disappointments really of 2013 other than what I've griped about over the many months that we've done the show. But I will say that I'll bring back another great thing that I liked, which is the Steam sale this year for the holiday sale. I loved it. I bought way too much stuff yet again. I participated in all of the trading cards, and I got a couple of items for games that I don't play, unfortunately, but I'll trade them within the community and hopefully get items that I do use.
Yeah, during the holiday, I finally played Gone Home and Kentucky Route Zero.
Oh, what'd you end up thinking of them?
Zero. How'd you like?
I
wait a
wanted to
minute.
play Kentucky Route Zero.
I think I heard your initial response to it after playing a couple hours. But have you finished the first chapter?
I haven't.
Okay,
I think
well,
I'm almost there.
I have to not listen to you until you finish.
Okay,
the first
see, I was about
chapter.
to, but I decided
I
I don't
like
have.
it
I was
so
about to
far.
download it, but I was like, it's kind of expensive
It's a
for
little slow
how
at
short it
times.
is.
You want them
Well-
to stop talking so you can actually do
You want them
something.
to stop talking.
But it's actually, even when they are talking and going on and on and on,
You
it's
have to
actually
take,
still
like,
interesting.
You have to take like a downer and just like sit through the two. I mean, it really doesn't take you it will take you less time to finish the Kentucky Route Zero episodes as it would to actually finished the DLC for BioShock Infinite.
Wait, wait. What did you think of Gone Home, though? I'm curious.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, see, I just thought it was so-so. But anyways, on the chat, Rachel Steiner saying I was disappointed that I didn't have money to buy games in 2013. And Ryan Wilson saying I'm with that. My disappointment was no money to buy the games I wanted. So, yeah, that's always a big disappointment. I feel like a lot of the releases this year were pretty spaced, though. So I feel like there weren't necessarily a lot of huge, like, you have to buy games like every month.
For October, November, and December, then were you?
But there were only like a few games like throughout those few months.
Yeah,
there were, but there were some big titles that all came right at the end of summer and then right at the beginning of fall.
Well,
like
there's
like I was actually, I mean, the only respite that we got was the console deliveries, because during those months, like, we just had the debut titles for the console.
I mean, that's why I mean, like, November, December, all you really had, other than if you had a Wii U, you had Super Mario 3D World, which came out. But I mean, if you had Xbox One and PS4, all you had were those games, which got a lot of poor reviews. And,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you got a new console, it's exciting. You want to get those games with it, but it's just like, they aren't
That's where
like,
I'm
I
at.
have to have games.
I don't have the new Assassin's Creed and I don't have Rise. I want to play both, but I already can tell you I don't think I will like either one of them enough to spend $60 on.
Well, you can borrow Black Flag from me.
Oh, yes, please.
I was 360 version.
I
so if
still
you're okay
love
with that.
360.
She still has a 360.
Yeah.
She hasn't traded that in.
Well, I know you don't. I'm just, just saying, if you want an Xbox One or PS4 experience, I don't have it for you. Kevin Moreno saying, in 2013, I finally owned a PS3, Uncharted 1 and 2, BioShock Infinite, and The Last of Us.
Kevin, you got to
Go,
play
Kevin.
Uncharted 3 next. You'll love it.
A lot of people saying they were disappointed by Battlefield 4. I'm sure a lot of people, because
I
of the
was
broken factor. Watch
supremely-
our base.
It's month
Battlefield
after
4 is
month.
broken for me.
Month after month. It's not like, oh, it was broken in the first 2 weeks and that tainted my experience. It's like, you can still check back in after 3 weeks of not playing the game and it's still broken.
Jordan Overton saying September, November is usually known as the month of the empty wallet. I mean, it is, but I mean, November, if you didn't buy an Xbox One or PS4, I don't think there was a lot coming out that month, as long as you didn't buy one of those. I mean, there was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I guess Battlefield 4 and Call of Duty 4 came out, but
I mean, that's
I'm Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty Black Flag.
$180.
Call of Duty Black Flag. I'm getting confused by all these sequels. Call of Duty Ghost.
So good. Oh my god.
Call of Duty Black Flag, I know.
Tactical ops on pirate ships, raids against, like,
you know what I will
village
say?
towns
I
with
wanna play
semi-automatic
it.
weapons.
I wanna
In
play
terms
it.
of Black Flag, you actually really do feel like a pirate, which is pretty cool. The pirate battles on the ships and the way they incorporate that are pretty awesome. But let's move on to the future. The future.
In the year 2000.
Year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Oh my god.
So 2014, we're looking at you. So this year, I'm looking forward to the fact that Xbox One, PS4, and the Wii U will finally have some games worth getting the systems for. So
Ooh, smack.
snack. I mean, Wii
Yeah.
U's starting to, and as I said last year, I think if you had to buy a console as it was when the consoles came out last year, the Wii U had more games on it that were worth playing. But I think this year we'll see Xbox One and PS4 finally get
I
those
hope
games.
so. I was gone for 3.5 weeks, and I came home and instantly turned on both my PS4 and Xbox One, expecting new stuff. Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. Even
What, do you have, like,
PlayStation
something that
Plus.
just
You
delivers
pretty much
it?
have to wait until March for
PlayStation
anything.
Plus doesn't have any new games in the past month.
But the
Nothing new's been
PlayStation
added.
Plus games that they've added, like that they've given, are actually pretty cool. Like right now, Microsoft and Xbox are in a war of, like, ooh, who can give, like, the better, like,
But I should get a free
premium
game every
experience.
month on PlayStation Plus.
You should, yes.
But they haven't
if
done
you
it
don't
at all
own it,
for
if you don't own
December.
it prior. But like the offerings have been pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
like Rasengan is
Contrast was awesome. That's
Yeah.
a PlayStation Plus game.
I've been playing that
Warframe I
recently.
liked.
well, Warframe is a free to play already,
Oh, well.
so
okay.
you wouldn't have had to pay for it if you played it on the PC.
I like Contrast then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're not that excited about it, but I mean, we've got Titanfall, which is a big release coming out in March. For me, I'm still curious to see what Deep Down is going to be like by Capcom, even though the free-to-play thing does scare the crap out of me. Wii U actually has a bunch of stuff. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is finally coming out, which I'm actually really excited for because I love Donkey Kong Country Returns. And the new Super Smash Brothers is supposed to be this year.
And Mario
Yeah.
Kart.
And Mario Kart
Heck
also
yeah, those
got
are two
posted this
huge
year.
ones
So
for me.
Hopefully, what doesn't happen, like,
and maybe
during
Hyrule
summer
Warriors.
is like that. One of those three games gets delayed, and like the easy one to make, which is obviously the Mario Kart game, gets released this year.
I
while the
loved
other
that at
two get delayed.
E3. That actually really surprised me at E3 because I didn't like the last one, but the new one I liked.
The Mario Karts?
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
it
really
looks
fun.
fun.
I
Like,
like
the
that you can get on
idea
the
of it's
bike.
pretty cool.
You can kind of parasail, and I like that sometimes you're driving and the level
the-
flips upside
Yeah, the gravity
down.
aspect is really cool. I'm
The
excited about that.
driving on the actual, like, handheld with the screen on it makes so much more sense. like than actually like trying to do something on the screen that's halfway across.
It could make the
room.
multiplayer pretty interesting too. I mean, I'm hoping they'll do some really cool incorporations with the multiplayer, where one person has the screen and other people don't. That's what I'd be looking forward to, because always with Smash Brothers as well, but always with Mario Kart, great multiplayer. So hopefully there's something like that. Something I'm excited for is next month there's Bravely Default coming out to the 3DS, which is JRPG. It's supposed to actually be really good, other than the weird, sexy stuff with 15-year-old girls that are in the game, which we'll talk about soon.
I like that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll be talking about it during the Quick Hits. Huzzah! So we got that. But yeah, I think 2014 we can look forward to that. I guess Steam Box should be coming out this year too, so we can see some Steam Box.
We got some big Steam announcements today.
On
our way driving over here. We're all driving probably about 5-6 p.m. Steam was doing their CES press briefing.
Oh, were they?
And Twitter is very torn. Some people love it. Some people are like, I don't like
this. It was only about 10-15 minutes long.
Well, I'm assuming
pretty
it's
significant, but at the same time, it's like,
I'm assuming it's kind of what Watchtower Base. He's kind of saying this on the chat to us. He's saying that his Steam Machine news for us is 14 companies, including Valve, revealed Steam Machines. iBuy Power PC price for theirs is $499 for standard, but high-end one would be around $700.
Yeah, so the
$500,
the range
$700.
that people are seeing are about. I mean, maybe a company will dip as low as 400 because some of them haven't released pricing details or release availability. But I would say the range is going to be. I mean, right now it looks like it's going to be 500 to about 2,000 for some of the more
Someone needs to explain to
ones.
me the point of buying one when you have a PC. I still don't get it, because now it's at a price point of a console.
Right now, I don't need one.
There is no point.
I don't need one.
If you already have a PC.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a PC and you want to be able to experience all the games that are on the PC that Valve is going to try and bring aggressively to the Steam box.
So instead, buy a $500 essentially not a PC, when you could buy a PC and do everything that
Do a
PC
lot
does.
more with it. Yeah, exactly.
This is to me like what the draw might be heading into this year and the next year. Is that, yes, you're right. If you don't have a PC, maybe buy a Steam box. But the real
then you
draw
can
is
only play Steam games.
I can maybe hook up. I can
Actually,
definitely
only play
hook up
Steam OS games.
I can definitely hook up a mouse and keyboard and then play on the Steam box. Some of these do boot Windows, by the way, including the iBuy Power one that boots Windows and Steam OS, not concurrently, I think separately. And then play, like your first-person shooter or tactical games with a mouse and a keyboard.
Yeah, but still, people are forgetting that there are really good PC games that come out that are not Steam. So you spend all this money on something that is actually limited, because if you have that much money to spend, go ahead and get a freaking gaming PC.
Yeah,
and then you can play all the games, not just Steam.
All the games.
I agree. Plus then you have a PC.
And then you have the the full screen experience.
Guys,
that
get a
Steam's
Razer
already
laptop.
Built in.
Razer's the best.
To me, I mean, it's like, okay, you get the consoles because they're games that are exclusive to consoles. That's why you get it. But for a Steam box, none of this stuff is exclusive. You get a PC and you can play it all.
Yeah, for some of the price of these machines too, I could pay $2,000 and get a really good laptop. For
Yeah,
one of the
exactly.
That could play
producers,
all of that
like
stuff.
Alienware or Razer or
exactly.
any of the big companies that has the ability to connect.
I
to my
mean,
TV
apparently,
even.
according to Watchtower Base, Alienware is making one of these. But again, just get an Alienware PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alienware
Yeah.
also has a tablet, and they also have a kick-ass gaming PC, gaming
But
laptops.
Alienware hasn't been
and a little
hasn't been relevant in a while.
No,
No,
as
they
being
haven't.
solid gaming
I like some of their
PCs.
stuff.
No, Razer's kind of been behind
Razer's
front.
the shit.
But Jordan Overton saying 2014 was pretty promising, especially with Watch Dogs. So that's another one, the big
I'm
release
still on the
this
fence
time.
about Watch Dogs. I can see how it would be really fun for a few hours and then get really repetitive.
Well, it's basically like a newer version of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, which I find is very repetitive.
I
So
agree.
I'm on the fence. I'm interested to see how it's not like Grand Theft Auto, all the things I can do that's not Grand Theft Auto, but I feel like it will very quickly fall into that same pattern of gameplay.
No, I totally agree with you. So
I think it's
we'll
going
see.
to remove some of your freedom. Like, you're going to have that freewheeling world that Grand Theft Auto has made popular.
But you can't go on
but
killing sprees.
It's
gonna be more
it's more
stealth.
stealthy, and I think that's
Stealth GTA.
I think that's what Rockstar needed to do with, or at least offer in Grand Theft Auto, and that's why Grand Theft Auto kind of gets tired really quickly
Mm-hmm.
because if you've played one part of it, you've played the entire part of it.
Yeah.
So a more ingrained story which Watch Dogs apparently has, I think that'll be more interesting.
Yeah.
One of the games I'm most excited for this year is South Park Stick of Truth.
Oh,
I'm so excited for that game.
I might buy a Wii U just to play it on the Wii U.
Most of the other games coming out, I really want, but on the same hand, I'm still a little bit like, maybe this is not going to be the shit, but South Park Stick of Truth, I'm going to fall in love with it no matter what.
I'm
just
looking
for the-
forward to it. I
the
like South
comedy
Park.
alone.
If you haven't watched the 3-episode arc that they aired just before Christmas that leads up to like the debut of their game.
I actually haven't
and a
seen
super
it,
marketing
but I
pimp.
did enjoy the Hobbit Kardashian episode.
Didn't Uncharted? Didn't that little trailer? Did it say 2014?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
hell.
wait a minute. No,
Did
no,
it?
I don't remember.
Did not have.
That would be
dates?
I
really
thought you were talking about the stick of
soon.
truth.
I
was
would love it enough. I
thought
don't
you were saying
care.
the stick of
So,
truth. That's definitely
Jordan
2000.
Overton
to
also
me.
saying that his big thing is with Steam boxes, will Steam make a deal with Twitch or another streaming website to be able to stream games from the Steam
Oh,
box?
definitely.
I'm sure you'll be able to, but I mean, you can from a
You
PC
can do
too.
that on a PC.
So
There are free programs that will do that for you on your PC.
right.
The thing is like every other console works in its own engine. So every game on the Xbox and the PS3 is running in an engine which the console has direct access to. That's how they can stream these games. It would be very difficult. I mean, although the Steam OS is built on its own OS, so it should be able to do it. I think they should be able to do it.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, Steambox will be big this year, definitely, just to see what happens with it. And I'm curious to see what happens. I'm really curious to see how many people actually do adapt to it, because I don't know. I don't get it, honestly, but I mean, some people think that it's the future. So.
It's going to be like one of those horse races.
No.
Literally line up like 15 different horses at a gate and you just open it and it's like, whoa, what the hell is going to go? What the hell is going to happen?
Because, like, if I had the money for a Steam box, I'd just be like, well, I'll save up a little more and buy a PC. I mean, that's,
Yeah, that can do a whole lot more.
Most definitely. I would
do it
recommend that
better.
to both of you.
Or, I mean,
if you
or
didn't.
honestly, I'd rather buy a PS4 or Xbox One. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more of a console gamer. Some people are very anti that and think I'm an
I'm gonna
idiot.
make my
so.
own ghetto Steam box. Like I'm gonna I have a couple of computer components still left at home out of the stuff I haven't recycled. I think I'm gonna try and cobble together my own like mini Steam box and put it into some odd like.
See, I'm still waiting for Steam to like
case.
come out with the reason and Valve to say like this is the reason you have to have the Steam box
It
over
would
everything
be
else.
Half-Life 3.
But I mean, they're like, here's
Which
Half-Life
everybody
3.
which everybody noticed is conspicuously missing.
They're
from-
like,
Yeah.
we're gonna drop
Everybody's
Half-Life
giving up.
3, Portal 3, and Left 4 Dead 3 all at the same time
year
with the
of
release of
3.
Steam box.
That
Yeah.
would be
But see, I could still play it because I
good.
have a PC and Steam.
Right.
Valve would-
So-
No, but they make it so only Steam
Gabe
OS,
Newell made a
even though
joke.
it's on everything.
Somebody asked at the CES conference today that Valve has. Somebody asked Gabe what he thought of the 3 million Xbox One sold, and I'm quoting indirectly because it's verbatim here. But he said, "Well, they still have a long way to go to catch up with our 65 million users." And that, I think that really kind of like it speaks to the way that Gabe thinks about it. Is like he's thinking right now. It's like, well, they like this. The PC is an ever evolving console, so you have some people stuck in the Stone Age, and you have some people running like $4,000 like power machines. Whereas
right,
the
you-
Xbox, like it's in a difficult transition. Both
I don't
Sony
know,
and
man.
the Xbox are in a difficult
I
transition.
just feel
right now.
I feel like Gabe's overseeing the fact that like those maybe PC is where everyone's going to, but then why would they buy your Steam box when they have their PC that does everything they need?
Yeah.
That everything a Steam box does.
What Gabe is holding back
Plus-
his justification that he doesn't need to sell a Steam box to a person like me that already has a PC.
So then
He will
basically-
instantly have me and count me as a user of his system on day one when the Steam OS goes like live. And
So it's
isn't
one
like
of
a
those
beta
stupid
anymore.
statistical things that doesn't mean anything.
Which Sony and Microsoft used to great effect
except for
when
their
they started selling
except for
the
their
Xbox and
3
PS4
million
in
is that
November.
every single game that comes out on the Xbox One, Microsoft makes a percentage of. Every single game that's sold on the PS4,
That's true.
Sony gets a percentage of. Every single game that's sold on Steam doesn't make that much of a percentage off of. They do make a little bit, but not compared to like a disc on a
I think
console.
they're still doing pretty well, and they don't have.
Well, I mean,
like-
they are. You have that
Even
much of a
now,
user base.
They don't have the overhead of producing hardware like Microsoft and Sony does. Like everything that's in a Steam box is off the store
But I
shelf.
still
They don't
think
have to produce
the
like this
Steam
like
box
complicated architecture.
Is getting away from the core gamers because the core gamers have a PC already.
Yeah.
So they're kind of walking away from the people that gave them all of their wealth
I
already.
still think Gabe is going to say on day one, it's like, oh, we already have like 700,000 users, and I'm going to be one of those 700,000 users, and I'm not going to know it. Like my
Mm-hmm. Right,
computer
me
will have
too.
been off all weekend,
Yeah.
and like I'll just be counted.
You'll
as
still be a
among
number.
I'll be a
Anyways,
number.
I'll be curious to see what. I don't know if you guys on the chat have thoughts on this. I want to hear, especially if you guys are pro Steambox, because I'm really curious what the pro Steambox people, like Super Pro, are saying and why it's like the future. But let's go ahead and move to our gaming moment of the holidays. Rainbow.
Gaming moment of the
Rainbow.
holidays.
Rainbow.
Gaming moment
Rachel,
of
you
the
had 3 weeks
holidays.
this time, so no excuse to not have a
I'm
moment.
good. I'm good. I actually had to choose because I had too much to talk about.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm good.
All right, well, if you're so good, why don't you start us off?
I gotta say, going into the holidays, I downloaded Wolf Among Us at Patrick and Hayden's recommendation and loved it. I actually like the style and the story and the characters a little bit more than the Walking Dead games.
Actually, when I played I played the demo one already. I was like, I like the characters and the story more.
I love the characters. I love the story. I wasn't sure. I definitely wasn't sold on it when Patrick was talking about it because fairy tale characters. Ugh, I'm not into the fairy tale
But
crap.
there's more like dynamism
I know,
and
but
drive than there is in the simple zombie story.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Then when I played it, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. The characters are super interesting. And I like that I do know some of them. Like when Beast and Beauty came out, I was like, oh, this is Beauty and the Beast. So I kind of caught some of the things they would be talking about. I understood it because I knew their characters and their fairy tale background. It's dark, it's gritty, it's gory, it's sexy, it's adult, and I
Dark and
love
gritty
it.
and sexy.
I cannot wait. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to in 2014 is more Wolf Among Us. So good.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Telltale's on a roll.
Like, I don't even want to buy season
Yeah.
2 of Walking Dead because I'd rather play Wolf Among Us. So, honestly,
Yeah, I finished Walking Dead season 2, episode 1 today. Because I had the biggest trouble, man. I downloaded it and it kept freezing, and then it would corrupt my save, and I played it twice, and I had to play it a third time to finally get it to work.
What ended up fixing it? Just
I had to switch
repeated-
consoles.
Oh, okay.
Re-download it and switch consoles.
What were you
switch.
playing it on?
I had to switch Xbox. I have one in the computer room, and I was playing
So
it in
these
the
are
computer
360s.
room.
You don't have multiple
Yeah.
Xbox Ones?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Is it even? I don't think it's on Xbox
I don't think
One.
it is either.
Yeah, so I just switched to my
But
living room
I've
Xbox 360.
I've been having serious issues with my aged Xbox One or my Xbox 360 as well. So I definitely feel you there.
Yeah, it was a pain, and I wanted to just cry and scream. Finally beat it. And again, the first episode of Wolf Among Us was light years better than the first episode of Walking Dead season 2 episode.
Yeah.
1.
Ooh, scathing.
I liked
words.
it. I liked the Walking Dead season 2 episode 1. That's a long thing to say, by the way. I liked it. It was cool, but again, it's more of the same story. You know, the
So I
same.
don't watch The Walking
stuff.
Dead. Is this like The Walking
No.
Dead season 1 episode?
No,
2,
it has
or
nothing to do with the
season
show or the
2
comics.
episode?
Yeah, they-
Nothing to do with the
Okay.
show. Or
I mean,
the
it's only the
comics.
setting is the same thing. That's
Right,
about
but
it.
I'm starting to see the same thing
Zombies.
over and over. Yeah, zombies, people, are the people good or bad? Zombies. Wolf Among Us is just amazing. Loved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it seems complex and dynamic with the characters, which is
Mm-hmm.
what I found interesting was that the character you play as, which is the Big Bad Wolf, is actually a dynamic character, and I really like that.
And it's a
As you
murder
said.
mystery.
Yeah, and I love
And
murder
there's
mysteries too.
blood and stuff, and it's great.
But Grant,
I'm going to go with a gaming moment of the week
Okay.
because I wasn't really planning on having a gaming moment of the,
well, I mean, it's still part of
Like
the
the holiday
season, so I
something.
mean, whatever.
The EverQuest designer that I most associated with, Brad McQuaid, has announced that he's coming out with a new MMO called Pantheon: Rise
So
of
he
the
announced he's
Fallen.
coming out.
Well, no, he announced to his Twitter followers today actually that he's developing a new MMO called Pantheon: The Rise of the Fallen. He worked on EverQuest for Sony, and like there were a tight group of developers and designers on the original EverQuest that basically designed some of the first great MMOs. Like
He's gonna-
EverQuest was the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
like
was
after
the-
Ultima Online, that was
Yeah,
like.
But he's going to have
Evercrack,
this come out the
basically.
same year as Elder
No,
Scrolls
he says
Online?
no.
Okay.
No.
So
This
that's
is
gonna be
he's announced
interesting.
it on Twitter. Everybody's assuming that it will soon come out with a Kickstarter campaign in the next couple days. So watch Kickstarter for that and watch his Twitter for that. And then I would assume if anybody is coming out with a Kickstarter
Oh.
right now, it's probably going to be late this year or next year or even 2015.
You know what that reminded
or
me of?
2016.
It's like for 2014, I've only ever kickstarted a couple games, and all of them are coming out this year.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm excited about.
You kickstarted a majority of what you were talking about in late 2012 and early 2013.
No, it's like middle
right?
2013,
Middle-
mid
okay.
2013.
So like Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight
Yeah, Shovel
and the Magic Hat, which I can't remember the full name of it, but
A
that
Hat in- was it
Hat in
A
Time, a Hat in Time.
yeah.
It's a 3D platformer collectathon like Banjo Kazooie.
So you got it. Your Wii U. You're writing.
Yeah.
You're writing line to have that.
I made sure they were
That
Wii U
fun.
versions that I was getting,
That
so
fun.
I'm excited
That's
for
my
that
gaming
stuff.
moment of the week. A major EverQuest designer is announcing a new MMO.
Wow. I mean, this is an interesting time to do it, too, as you guys were talking about MMOs dipping, so.
I would assume it's free to play. I haven't looked too much into it other than that.
All
Yeah.
I want out of 2014 is a Bully 2. I'm tired of asking for Last Guardian. I'm not going to get
What else is Rockstar going to work on?
They need to give
Red
me...
Dead Redemption?
Yes, they're going to do that. No, but I really, really need a Bully 2.
I would pay for a Red Dead
You know what else is
Redemptioner.
coming out in 2014 I somehow neglected to say? Dark Souls 2.
Oh.
Oh, no.
In March, I will cease to exist.
Is this the only game that you're going to buy the collector's edition for?
Yes, I already did. I already bought it
Man, I
months
buy
ago.
so
What
many
was it?
collector's editions.
Did you buy like the $300 version or the
It was like
$200?
150. I don't know. It was the expensive
It was
one.
150 left leg.
Yeah. It's the only one. I've never bought a collector's edition. I probably never will again.
Why? It's so awesome.
Because I
That's
don't
pretty
like
cool.
having that stuff cluttering my place.
It's not clutter if you organize it. Mine isn't clutter.
Well, you
Mine
have
is
like
cluttered.
you have really cool display
I've
cases,
got
and you keep
cool
it at your
clutter.
desk at work, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, she's got us all beat with the display.
But your
cases.
display case makes sense. I don't have this fancy, schmancy display case, so it just ends up going into a box of next time I have a desk, I'll put this on my desk.
That's what we
box.
need to do. We need to help Dave build a display case
I mean, the
for
thing
his
is, like-
single
Yeah.
collector's edition
Yeah.
that he's gonna have
The thing
in
is,
a
like,
couple months.
the only ones I end up enjoying are like when I go to PAX or like E3 and interview people and they give me one, because then I feel special because I have some sentimental value towards it. Like, oh, I got this for interviewing these people.
I'm on like Entertainment Earth every week going, what came out this week? What
God.
came out?
Japanese culture shipped right to your door. Entertainment.
I don't get
Earth.
Japanese culture stuff.
Well, you don't get any of
Anime
the Square
stuff.
Enix, the Square
Oh,
Enix
those.
stuff
I've got
from
the,
like Mass Effect collectibles and
I
everything.
have their Nathan Drake and I have their
Yeah, there's some of that
Cammy.
stuff is really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Although their Commander Shepard mail looks really weird. Sorry,
You know
Square
who's
Enix.
really good is Kobukayu. Is that how you pronounce it?
Kobukayu?
Kobukayu.
That sounds right. It sounds like it might be a
Their
word.
figures are amazing. Even their Mass Effect stuff is really, really pretty, and they did the Fem Shep. Yeah, I'm in love with their stuff recently.
Oh, wait a minute. Play Arts Kai?
No,
Because that's the Square Enix.
right. That's
thing.
what. Yeah, that's what you're talking
Okay.
about. No, this is a company I'd never heard of
'Cause
until
I thought,
Comic Con.
I thought that
You're pronouncing proper Japanese, so it sounds
Oh,
like
really?
it's probably right.
know.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
I was at their booth at Comic Con, and I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. And I loved all of their stuff. So yeah.
You loved it.
so
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment Earth.
But Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2
2014.
is your 2000.
Well, that was
That's
just something I
your- that's
forgot
your
to say about
gaming
what
moment.
I'm excited for
Okay, well
2014.
then what's your gaming moment?
Dark Souls 2, bitches. No. So my gaming moment of the kind of holiday season, all that, was actually Super Mario 3D World, because I got it for the holidays, and my little brother got a Wii U for the holidays. So we were like, let's combine forces because we're in Chicago, and I have an older brother too. So it was the first time in a long time I played games with my brothers, and it was just a lot of fun because we're all big gamers, so we all are good at games and good enough that we can play games like Mario together and screw each other over, but still be good enough to have fun. It's not like someone gets mad. It's like, oh, you're screwing me over. We get competitive, and we're still good enough to get all the stars when we
Yeah.
play together. So I don't really have those experiences too often anymore. So it's just fun to like just get back with my family, who's all gamers, and play games with them, and especially Super Mario 3D World, because I hate a lot of the new Mario games for being multiplayer based, but this is one of the first times, like, this did a far better job than New Super Mario Brothers U of being good at single player and multiplayer. Somehow they designed it well enough where it worked for both. And it might just be the three-dimensional aspect of it, where you don't get stuck on each other if there's
Yeah.
too many people, so you have to spread it out. But it was good, both single player and multiplayer. And the multiplayer was great. I had tons and tons of fun with them, so...
I just don't like the time limit. Like, I want to explore more, but the time limits are always getting me in that game. I'm
Yeah.
constantly having to
Yeah.
rush for the end and skipping
There's been a
everything.
couple of Nintendo games over the last 2 generations that time limits just like even the Pikmin
The
game,
worlds are
like
too
they
big.
they told
Ugh.
they
Oh, the
told me,
Pikmin
like,
time limits drive me
I
crazy.
hate
Yeah,
I hate
but
it.
I understand it because that is ingrained. It's actually part of.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it makes sense, but at the
story.
same time, I get so stressed out about them.
Well,
get
don't
really
give me this
stressed out.
giant
Everything.
world to explore and then give me a time limit to explore it. Like, I want to explore it on my own terms.
No, the bugs are going to come and eat you. Get out of there.
After
Stupid
dark.
bugs. They're always eating my Pikmin.
Yeah, like even like I skipped Pikmin 2, and when I was playing Pikmin 3, I enjoyed it, but I was like, yeah, that's right. I hated the time limit. That was the thing that was driving me crazy. I mean, it makes sense, but I'm still just like, man, I don't want this time limit to solve these
Yeah.
puzzles. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. But that was my gaming moment of the holiday season. It was just fun with the family. So, especially with 3D World.
Family fun.
Family fun. Oh yeah, my little
Came out of the
brother.
holidays.
My little brother finally. I've never played League of Legends. I've never played Dota. Anytime I've ever.
Oh God.
Well, anytime. Hold on.
I can't believe you. I mean, did you ever pass judgment on it without having played it?
I never passed judgment on it. The reason why was anytime I'd be on StarCraft.
Love that game.
Anytime I'd be on StarCraft and the game would pop up, I always wanted to play tower defense games. That was my jam. So I'd see Dota games pop up and be like, nah, I'm just waiting for a tower defense game, even as Dota was taking off. So when League of Legends came out, it was just a Dota clone. I was just like, well, I don't know how to play it. I don't feel like learning the rules. So my little brother finally taught me how to play League of Legends over the holidays. So now I know how to play League of Legends. So
wow.
There we go. Finally catching up to the times.
Very good entry-level MOBA game to start with, too, for that matter.
And also the most popular game of the year.
You can move on to Heroes of New
good
Earth
luck
and
dealing
Dota
with
2.
those people.
Those people are great.
League of Legends people?
Those are my people.
League of Legends
They are
are like
evil.
considered to be some of the worst fans
They're
in
awful.
community from everything I hear.
Oh, God.
Like
they're
the most evil
terrible.
community. Sorry,
Yeah.
League of Legends community who
It's
watches. That's what I've been
everybody's
hearing.
an asshole.
It's you know what? It's
more
really
you know.
good with. You just
Thank you,
wade
Steven.
into that pool and just like you become an amorphous blob of like hatred and like. But the great thing is, no one knows what the hell you are either.
I don't
like, no
want
one
a
knows
game
if
to
I'm
make me
man,
feel
woman,
hate.
black or white. Like no one knows who I am.
They
So
just
hate
wade
you
into it and
equally.
like, yeah, everybody hates me equally.
They all
My
want
favorite
you
thing
dead.
was playing as like this new free-to-play character they just created in League of Legends that's super hard to play as. That even
Well,
like
they circle
that even
the free-to-play
veterans.
characters.
But
Do you know
apparently,
that?
yeah. But I mean, I didn't pay anything, so I had to play with the free-to-play characters. But my little brother was going nuts because I kept on choosing apparently the super complex one that even like the most veteran of players couldn't figure out how to play yet. Just because I thought you looked the coolest, so I
Yeah.
was like, sorry, man, I'm playing as this character again, and I'm going to become the master of this character. And then
That's
I
like a
came
big
back and stopped
no-no.
playing it.
That's
Yeah.
a big no-no in the League of Legends.
Becoming a master of a character? Or playing as a veteran character when you're not
Having
a veteran?
Playing
fun.
as a character without knowing how to use the character.
Well, that's a no-no in any competitive
Well, I mean,
game.
like if you're learning a character like that, you're supposed to do it and like you're supposed to read up a little bit on it and do it in a controlled environment.
I was
before you
figuring it
ventured
out,
into,
yo.
like, ranked
I'm not going
games
to
or, like,
research my games
randoms.
before I play them. I want
Unless it's a
play 'em.
random, everybody would understand
I'll
that.
learn by playing.
See, Watchtower Base is saying that League of Legends fans are worse than Call of Duty fans.
They are.
And Jimmy Playing 2 saying Call of Duty sucks anyways. I'm a Call of Duty fan, actually, and I'm a pretty terrible person.
I'm not. A
So
Call
I
of
would
Duty.
argue that you're probably no better than both of them.
Nope. I'm the worst human being in the world. Because I'm both League of Legends and Call of Duty now. That makes me double horrible.
And Dark Souls, don't
Actually,
forget
Dark
that.
Souls is a really awesome community. I've actually
Absolutely
never...
horrible people.
No, I've never met like a nicer game
You're
community.
insufferable.
Guild Wars 2
serious.
has the nicest community
been
I've ever
making-
been a part of.
See, like I've been making these types of videos and like video game related videos for 7 years, and my Dark Souls stuff on YouTube is the nicest people have ever been. Even when they don't like my video, they're nice about it and they're considerate.
They're nice people.
It's
I'll admit that.
ridiculous how,
I'll
like,
dial my
nice
hatred
they
back
are.
a little bit. Those are nice peeps.
It's like actually a good community. Like nice people
There's
are
no
supportive.
hatred. There's no trolling there. I mean, if it is trolling, it's kept to a minimum within the game's PvP.
Like even when there is a
Good.
troll, like people will comment on YouTube like, "Sorry about that guy. He somehow like slipped through the slipped through." So
Yeah, these are people congratulating their cohorts on babies and like everything. Yeah, it's a good community.
But I digress because I will always digress to Dark Souls. Let's talk about some quick hit news stories.
Yeah.
So China, remember we were talking about last year, they finally were letting video games come into, well, not videos, but foreign games come into China, which is big because apparently last year they just hit a new revenue mark with video games, which is $13.75 billion of revenue from video game sales.
What?
So the year before...
I did a double take there. There's a
What?
triple take.
The year before that,
That's a lot of
apparently they
money.
hit 9 billion, and this is in-game China stuff, and now also foreign, as this was the first
That's
year they
a
allowed
year-over-year
foreign.
growth of just over 38%.
Yeah, I think it was like, I think there's actually whatever. 42%.
whatever, numbers.
42%. They jumped nearly 42%. So
I think we should adopt that
No,
as a
that's different
slogan.
year.
Whatever numbers.
whatever numbers.
Whatever.
Numbers. So, anyways, big, awesome stuff. So, I feel like this is great for the industry in general, just because we keep on seeing games like Tomb Raider and stuff where like we didn't make enough money, and now there's an entirely new giant market of games to sell to, unless it's Battlefield 4. Mm-hmm. If you guys know the Battlefield 4 thing I'm talking about, they didn't allow it. They got banned in China.
They don't allow a lot of games.
Yeah.
Let's just and then on top of it, like they're more strict than like New Zealand and Australia.
Well, they
with
only
their
just
ratings
started
and
allowing
everything.
foreign games in, so I'm just like, you know what? At least they're starting.
How
They're
long
baby
before you
steps.
see
Baby
them-
steps.
How long
Baby
before you see them adopt anti-competitive practices, meaning like they block like a major game like Call of Duty or
Baby steps. Baby steps.
like an EA game when one of their own developers comes out with the game. One of their state-funded like game development
10 years,
companies.
15 years down the line.
I think it's only about 2 or 3 years away.
Hey, you know what? At least they're making progress, and that's good for everybody. So I think that's good for the industry in general. So Nintendo, they went through a big Christmas eShop outage, and I actually have firsthand experience with this with my little brother who got a Wii U and was trying to create an account for his new Wii U. He got one of these Zelda HD ones that comes with a downloadable version of Zelda HD. He couldn't download it because the shop was down all Christmas Day and couldn't create an account in order to download Zelda. And when he finally slipped through the cracks of creating an account, it just kept on dying, and he had to wait a couple of days to download Zelda HD.
But nobody missed out.
Which meant more 3D World play.
They got delayed, but nobody missed out on anything like time sensitive, right?
No.
No. I mean, there's no time sensitive stuff. I mean, actually, I think some Pokemon content got pushed back because of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was more just like people couldn't create their accounts. And if you're like my little brother who wanted to play Zelda HD and couldn't, that does suck because
Yeah,
it's a
especially on
download only.
Christmas,
Which is
jeez.
why not just come with the damn disc?
Why'd you have to make
Nintendo
little
ruins
kids cry,
Christmas.
Nintendo? Why'd
Yeah.
you have to let little kids cry?
Yeah, especially since that's what Nintendo's mostly catering
Yeah,
towards. They
good job,
failed kids across
Nintendo.
America.
Did your brother cry?
No, because he's old
But
enough.
Dave did.
But I cried.
So close.
I'll cry because Watchtower Base says if China doesn't allow Dark Souls, Dave will faint. No, I will cry. I will cry if that happens. But they weren't the only person. So Nintendo got it sorted out. It's basically because so many people got Wii U's for Christmas, they just couldn't handle the giant influx of all the new players and people at the eShop.
Dave will become a Dark Souls evangelist and travel to China spreading the good word
Of Dark
illegally
Souls.
in China
You're like,
if
what-
Dark Souls is banned.
Why is Dave not in the States? Oh, he's in China doing
He's
some
been
Dark Souls
arrested
shit.
in
Yeah.
China for proselytizing about the good word of Dark Souls.
Jordan Overton asking, wasn't Pokebank the one that made the eShop crash? Pokebank was supposed to come out, but it was actually, according to Nintendo in their statement, it was just the giant influx of people because Christmas Day, that's when it happened, when so many new people got Wii U's.
Was it with the Wii Mini? Because that suddenly became available during the holidays in the U.S., didn't it? I didn't
think
see
it might have, but I'm sure.
I haven't been into a Best Buy since I picked up my Xbox One and PS4, so I didn't see if it
I
actually
didn't go
came out
to
on
Best
Black
Buy
Friday.
all this Christmas season, which is weird. You say I do.
They closed the Best Buy by my hometown. They're closing everything.
Looting?
Blockbuster, then Best Buy. I don't even know what to do. So, but eShop wasn't the only person to experience outages. This week, we also got that Steam was experiencing outages, as well as eventually we had outages from
Origin.
Battle.net and Origin.
Oh, yeah,
and this is
Origin
from
was down.
DDoS
Battlenet.
attacks. So a bunch of DDoS attacks. And I don't know if the reason was stated for why these DDoS attacks took place. Like someone took credit for it. But I don't know if they actually said why they did it, and I'm just like...
It was surrounding a popular Twitch streamer who wanted to monetize his streams, and he'd been doing Hearthstone videos recently. So I think that it was like the community of these hackers riled around like this one Twitch streamer, and the same group that claimed responsibility for swatting this guy's house ended up like running these denial of service attacks the following week. So like it's like a weird amalgamation of like people like being angry at one person and then taking their anger out after
Then
they
they
realized they
stole
had this much power.
Everybody's credit card information from
yep.
Target.
No, those are different people.
Yeah,
Those are
Target, that
different
did happen
people.
to Target. Actually, that happened to my parents. Their credit card information got stolen from
Oh
Target.
no!
But they got the call and everything was fine. Yeah, that happened like a month ago. Target, there was like a thing where people were taking Target
It
credit
happened
card
during
info.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah. So we also have, yeah, I mean, the whole thing with that, it seems so like selfish to me. Those DDoS attacks. I mean, you're hitting the 45 million user base, according to Gabe Newell. So all 45 million
65.
people can play 65 million. Sorry, 60. Sorry, Gabe. 65 million people.
That's
so,
what here's here.
but I mean, that's that many people for that. So it's just.
I was actually using Steam during the holiday sale, trying to get my
Left 4 Dead 2 free?
No, my precious Steam holiday trading cards.
Oh yeah.
During the outage, and it was pretty noticeable, but it was still accessible. Like there was significant delays. Like I'd try to load a store page, and it would take like 4 minutes instead of like a couple seconds.
So we have reached. So Square Enix. I was reading the wrong thing on my thing. So Square Enix is making slight censorship changes to Bravely Default. Here's the story for Raychul. Censorship. So Bravely Default is a game coming out to 3DS that has a lot of chibi characters. So like anime characters. They make the chibi version that you run around as.
chubby faces,
Right.
big eyes.
And there's like the chibi version, I think, that you run around as when you're in the battles, but they're all 15. Everyone's like kind of 15-year-olds old. The girls are 15-years old, and they wear incredibly scantily clad outfits. So for America, they're making it not quite so scantily clad, and they're changing the age to 18.
Oh, come on. It's a video game.
But well, look, I'm all for like not censoring
How far do you want it
stuff.
to go in the opposite direction?
Look, here, I'm all for not censoring games.
Meaning, like,
here's
do you
my
want
thing.
it to be 12-year-olds in skimpy costumes? Do you want it to be 10-year-olds that are naked? That's what I'm saying.
Hey, whatever.
Hey, whatever.
I'm just like, you know what? All they had to do to me was
from you on this controversial issue.
all they had to do to me was
She's
change
over
the age
there.
of 18, and then I'd be like, okay, that's cool. But I'm like, you know what? Let's veer away from that pedophilia thing. I'm okay
But
with
it's
that.
a video
People
game
are pissed.
character. So just because you tell me, oh no, that
Was
character's
anybody
18.
really going like,
it's like,
oh darn it, they changed the age of my
No,
chitties.
you look at when I was looking at
It's just a
this.
fake video
There are
game
various places
character.
like that were reporting on like IGN and Polygon, and you look at some of the contents, and people are like, "I am not buying the game now," and it's just like, so you're
not
buying the game so
the
you can have a
changed
scantily
version.
clad 15-year-old?
They're
Is
not
that
buying the changed version. They're
Right.
protesting the changes.
right? Well, yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, still, that's just like the game's apparently the exact same other than that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know what? I hate when they change stuff. It was like Dead or Alive girls, and they were doing that. I'd be very pissed off because Dead or Alive girls should be scantily clad, but.
yes, they should.
When it comes to a 15-year-old, and there's cheering for that, but when it comes to a 15-year-old girl, I'm okay with them adding a little bit more clothing. I'm like, you know what? That's okay with me.
It's nothing that you won't see just going to the mall on a weekend. 15-year-old girls there dressed like they're hookers on a corner anyways, so it doesn't matter.
But I can avert my eyes. But I avert my eyes when I'm there. So, yeah, and I don't know. It's fun. Like, I'm like, people are pissed. I'm like, you know what? This isn't that bad of a change. You don't need to be pissed about this. Just buy the game because it's supposed to be a good game. Not the
Is
worst
it a
thing in
good
the
game
world.
on top of all that?
It's supposed to be a really good game. It's
If
supposed
you
to be a
want to pretend
really,
that
really
they're
good game.
15 still, you can.
Yeah, you can still pretend.
Rachel's gonna.
No.
Views expressed herein are those of the host.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Child's Play. Charity raises a record-breaking $7.6 million in 2013, which would be
Holy
last
shit.
year. So every year, Child's Play has made more money. So great, like good for the community.
Good for Child's
I'm
Play.
so sad that I didn't get to take place in their 24-hour gaming live stream event in October.
I did a fundraiser for. I used to work with a company called Game Zombie. I did a big fundraiser for them for Child's Play, and
They ran it the
led.
same weekend as Kamikaze.
I don't know why Grant's like, oh, what?
So I couldn't do it.
support charities. I like to vary my support to charities, meaning like if it's just one charity that gives to a very specific segment of our society, like if it's only just like the Wounded Warrior Project, I'm not like oh, that's the only people that need help.
Sure.
The Child's Play charity, unfortunately, is very focused. It's like very focused. Like they don't give to multiple outlets.
Well, apparently they're actually expanding their outlets.
Hopefully
from
they
this.
do, but that announcement of how much they made came on the same day that Mike from Penny Arcade dialed back and suddenly started to apologize for all the things that he said over the
Well,
years.
that I wish he hadn't done.
And I think that them both happening at the same time is like this big PR stunt that's designed to say like, hey, we aren't the evil people that half of the internet thinks we are.
Well, they really did make $7.6 million, first of all,
Yeah.
so that's true. And B,
But
I
a lot of
I don't
people
like that he
pointed
made
out
that statement because
since the
I actually
statement-
agree with some of the things that he'd said that were controversial. And I think don't tread back on your words, stick your
But
ground.
them releasing the statements and then him making the apology on the same day, some people interpret it as I'm a charitable person, so therefore this will buoy my misdeeds and it will like help to erase my like evilness.
Yeah.
He's even apart from your like telling him that he shouldn't have dialed back his speech, he's admitted that he's turned into a bully. So
But he really hasn't. That's the thing.
He has,
He
though.
hasn't. So one of the things, like, I'm
here's a
sorry,
guy-
I gotta.
He's telling some other guy what he is.
But he hasn't. Like, no, like, one of the things that he had to apologize for was, like, that whole rape joke thing, right? In the comic, where people got pissed at him about that, like, rape joke thing.
But he wasn't talking specifically about talking to his.
But
his-
that was
his
like-
consumers. He was talking about his own employees. Like he actually bullied his own employee who was there specifically designed to keep Penny Arcade from getting into trouble.
Okay, well,
So
that
he said,
I didn't know
I
about.
won't change it. Like, he has his own employees which are there telling him, don't do this, please do that. And he would get in their faces and be aggressive when he didn't need to.
Okay, well, I thought it was related to his statements.
He like you can go back and like analyze his statements, but he basically he admonished himself, which is a good thing. But I guess I'll wait and see like what else he does in the future.
I'm more referring to his statements, like people got pissed off that I think people were being.
Well, he obviously felt he needed to do it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, I'm just like, nah, I don't know.
Or
I'm
he
sad that
suddenly
he
lost
did.
the battle.
Well, I mean, Gabe's like, you know what though? Both of them, like, they're on a lot of medications. They're very depressed. Gabe openly admits a lot and talks about the fact that he has a lot of mental issues. So I mean, like, I feel like a lot of times.
But he also said
I feel like a lot of times he over-evaluates stuff that he does that isn't a big deal, and then some people on the internet take it and go wild with it when he's just being a normal person.
But he also mentioned that he used to have to like virulently defend his positions when he was a younger person, and now he has a family, and now he's like an adult and he's an older person with a lot of power. He runs a multi-million-dollar charity. He has a multi-million-dollar business, and he has
and he's
huge
still allowed to
audience.
have an opinion.
No, but I mean, like he realized that he doesn't need to violently defend his opinions anymore. He has an audience which is waiting with bated breath to see what he says controversially next.
Well, moving back a little bit, the Rich B21 says it's a bummer about the game, and I want scantily clad girls.
Yay, scantily clad girls.
Rich, interesting. We're learning new things about you.
Yes.
So you're gonna wait for the next Metal Gear game.
So let's move on.
Scantily clad girls.
Pop CEO Dave Roberts is retiring. I think he actually he did a fantastic job with PopCap, not Pop, PopCap CEO. Because PopCap, I mean, other than Plants vs Zombies 2, it was doing really well. Like when you look at Plants vs Zombies, when you look at Peggle, like they've really blown up over recent years.
With
so
the new
PopCap's
Peggle,
actually
everybody loves it.
PopCap is actually like a name brand now. It used to just be like casual guys who make games every so often, and they're now a big name brand. So hopefully they will continue to go well. I think he's just retiring, so I don't think there's anything like crazy about it. It's just like, all right, time to retire. So that is about it. So that wraps up all of our quick hit stories, and with that, I do have some news for you guys. Some sad news is this is our final Game Control Live for the time. No.
For the time being, we'll be back.
That doesn't mean we won't be back, so definitely check in with us on Game Control Live on Twitter. Check out on us with Game Control Tube on YouTube. There will still be content, and we'll keep you guys updated on the Game Control Live
We'll let
Twitter.
you know when and where we'll be next.
Right, so don't think it's just it's the end. It's just for now. We're wrapping up here, and there will be a hiatus.
Give us a week
Give us a
to
week
recuperate
from our recuperation of the holidays. Kevin Moreno thinks Peggle rules. I agree. But guys, definitely do follow Game Control Live on Twitter, and we will update you guys, or check us out, subscribe to us on Game Control too, because don't worry, we will have some new stuff for you guys, and we will keep it rocking and rolling. And what else do you do? You rock and roll and
That's all
Shake our butts.
shaking
We're gonna
booties.
shake our butts.
We're gonna shake our booties like we're Miley Cyrus, but have a butt. And
Is this
guys,
Mass Effect music?
yes,
Okay.
I did it for Grant.
I could feel it. I knew
is
it.
so good.
Okay.
This is my favorite set from the Citadel.
All right, guys. And once again, I'm Dave
That's
Klein.
a remix too.
It is. Well, they're all remixes because of the new YouTube copyright rules. We probably won't get hit with the remix issue. So, guys, I'm Dave Klein. You can find me on Twitter at the Dave Klein. That is Klein.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm Grant Kohrmann, by the way, at GAK. I'm coming out with a new podcast conveniently the next week.
Drop the headphones.
What?
And put them back on and drop headphones
Yeah.
again.
You
Put
can
them back
find
on.
me on YouTube soon, and my new podcast will be called Grant Gets Games.
Hell yeah, and I'm Raychul Moore, and you can find me on Twitter, which is @Rachel. But you can also find Dave, me, and Seth on Machinima, which is every Tuesday at 6 o'clock on Twitch TV.
Why, Rach? That's tomorrow.
Machinima. Yes, tomorrow, player versus player, and this week we'll be debating Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, and I might come dressed as Cammy.
Which one are you?
Street Fighter.
Oh.
I agree, but I can't because I'm the moderator. Wait,
Yes.
you didn't hear it here. I'm completely unbiased.
And I'm keeping myself tight-lipped, and here you are the moderator.
You know what? Tomorrow I will be moderating
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
This is an opinion show where I'm gonna say my opinion. Damn it!
You get it.
All right, guys, but we will have some plans, and we'll talk about ways to keep the show rocking for you guys who do enjoy it. So thank you for supporting the show, for all you guys who did watch, and Keep up with us on Game Control Live on Twitter, and we will definitely
We
post.
love you.
Yeah, we love you guys. All right, thank you so much for everything. We love you guys a lot. Mucho, mucho. We'll be back.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.